everybody, I'm Elizabeth Hines from OurPaleoFamily.com, and we're back with another Christmas cookie recipe today. And I have my special assistant because this is her favorite recipe. So what are we making today?
Pressed cookies.
Pressed cookies, or sometimes called Spritz cookies. It's the same thing. It's like a little shortbread cookie, and you make them with this cookie press. We call it a cookie press, which is why we always call them pressed cookies. So Kate is going to help me today. So first thing, will you load in one of the white? In my recipe, I say to do snowmen and snowflakes first, but I can't find my snowflake. What would you call this? Disc, shaped disc. So our only white, totally white cookie today will be the snowman. So we've loaded that up. And this is a real simple dough to make. We just have to mix everything in a bowl. So we need 1 cup of almond flour. And you have been touching your face. So wash your hands again and then don't touch your face. Okay, so I got my big 5-pound bag here. And I don't sift this unless it's been in the freezer, which has just been in the fridge, so it doesn't have big lumps in it. So I need 1 cup of almond flour. Kate, will you get out a spoon and 2 rubber spatulas? I forgot. No, our cooking spoons right here. A wooden spoon and 2 rubber spatulas. So a cup of almond flour, a half a cup of arrowroot, and then what's next? Oh, I did that completely wrong. That was totally not what I meant to do. I'm distracted with my assistant today. So we'll finish putting our dry ingredients in here and then we'll do our wet. And then we also need a 1.5 tablespoons of coconut flour. Okay, good. 1.5 tablespoons. So put that to the side. And we don't have baking powder or salt or anything like that in here. It's really simple. So there's a shorter one. Let's get the shorter one. That one's good for doing big pots of soup. Okay, good. All right, so mix those together a little bit. And then we need half a cup, 1 stick, 8 ounces of butter. And I say grass-fed butter or palm shortening, and I was out of grass-fed butter, so I'm just using regular butter because I think butter tastes better in this recipe. So if you can tolerate a little bit of dairy, butter would be great in this recipe. I actually need my, oh here it is, my 1.5 tablespoons again, because I need 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. So we're just mixing those together, Kate, so it'll help everything to mix together more easily. We'll get all of that out of there. Okay, then we'll need to add some extracts. So we need vanilla and almond. Almond is what gives us that super duper yummy flavor.
I forgot that we put almond in.
And if you don't like almond, you can just use more vanilla. That's fine. Just add those 2 together. So it would be 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla, but the almond is really delicious.
Okay.
Okay, so what do I need this one for?
Which one is it? 1 tablespoon?
Oh yeah, my recipe was wrong. I had maple syrup in there twice. I had 3 tablespoons and 1 tablespoon, and it should just be 3 tablespoons. So our process, which we came up with this because it just makes it easier, is that we're making white dough, red dough, and green dough. And so we make our white shapes first, which in this case will be just the snowmen. And snowman.
Yeah.
The snow. We're only going to make one.
Yeah.
The snowmen. And then when there's a little bit of white left in there, so there'll be some dough kind of around the edges of the tube. Then we'll put the red in, and then we'll make candy canes. So our candy canes will be red and white. And then when there's just a little bit of red left, we'll load in the green, and we'll make the wreaths and the Christmas trees, and they'll come out with little bits of red, so it sort of looks like ornaments.
And berries.
But yeah, holly berries. So it looks, our laziness paid off in this case, and it looks great, and this smells really yummy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm going to use that bowl for one of my colors. So you can use a hand mixer for this if you want, but you certainly don't have to. So Kate, hold up our food coloring so everybody can see what that is. They're all the same brand, so just hold it up. So this is called Color Kitchen, and I bought it from Thrive Market. And I honestly am not certain if you can buy it in local stores. I know like Kroger, those kinds, I've never found an all-natural food coloring. Whole Foods used to have a red that was in a bottle and was just crazy expensive. And then I've been a member of Thrive Market for a couple of years now, so honestly I haven't looked for it in a store. But I ordered this online through Thrive Market. If you have a question about that, you can go to my website and just in the search bar enter in Thrive Market. I talk about it all the time. I think I even have a button on the side, kind of a link that would have my referral link on it. Honestly, if you subscribe, they give me some kind of little bonus. I'm not sure what it is, honestly. But you can always get a 30-day trial, and it's kind of like Costco, Amazon, and Whole Foods all rolled into one. It's like the healthier, shelf-stable products, and you pay a membership fee. It is $60 a year, and at this point I am going to put my hands in there because it's kind of a stiff dough, and it's just easier to mix it this way.
What's the other spatula for?
Hang on just a second. What else was I going to say? Okay, so Thrive Market, you have to pay the membership, and then it's free shipping, and anyway, it's great. And so that's where I order my food coloring from. And honestly, the liquid food coloring or even the gel coloring from a craft store will give you brighter colors, and it is easier and it is less expensive. But I know a lot of people have sensitivities to dyes, and so if that is an issue in your house, then you need to look for some of these natural dyes. And the red is beet, the blue is spirulina, and the yellow is turmeric. Flip it over. I think that's right, Kate. Flip over the yellow. Let me look at the ingredients list. Turmeric, yes. So it is all natural, and that's all it is. And it smells really yummy, doesn't it? So I have just sort of roughly divided my dough in thirds, and we have another spatula because we're going to have one for red and one for green. Okay, so I know it's just a small amount of dough, but it really makes a lot of cookies. They're little. What's your question?
How are we going to make red? Because this is pink.
It's going to be more pink instead of red, and that's just going to have to be okay. So let me wash my hands. Will you, let's see, will you get the red out of the pack? We'll show everybody how this works.
Should I open the thing?
No. Yeah, shake it down like that. It is really intense color and will make a mess, so we want to open it carefully. So I use scissors, and it's a powder. Yeah, so we're going to sprinkle a good bit of that in. Do you want to stir it up? Okay, and I'll work on making green. So obviously we just get primary colors, and we have to mix them together.
It smells so good.
I don't want the foil in there, but there's blue all over my scissors. So we just have to kind of experiment. This is fun. Okay, so a trick with making pressed cookies, honestly it took me a long time to figure out how to get it to work properly. And I think the trick is, the trick actually makes things simpler. You don't refrigerate the dough. It's a stickier, wetter dough than you might think would be needed. And you don't coat your trays. So if you have baking trays, Do you want an apron, honey?
No, I'm good.
If you only have baking trays that are like Teflon coated, then those won't work for this because the dough actually has to cling to the tray. So you need just a stainless steel tray, and you don't put foil or parchment or anything like that on it. Okay, so there is a green, but I want it a little brighter, so I'm going to add a little bit more of our color. And if you don't use the whole pack, you can save it and just seal it up in a like in a zippy bag and save it for the next time. But it will get really clumpy and hard, so it doesn't last forever. So you need to use it, I would say, within a month once you've opened the package. This makes a nice sort of tealish green color. So there's a trade-off. We have the natural aspect, but it's not as bright green.
No,
It's not. Okay, how are you coming? Can we add a little bit more, see if it gets a little bit more red?
Yeah.
That might be all. We'll just go ahead and use all the red.
Yeah.
I need to order more of that. Okay, and don't do a big because it'll fly, so be real gentle with it, okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm going to just wipe this up, and then we'll start pressing out our cookies. One thing I have found with these natural food dyes is that the color can sort of bleed later, and I've only used it in icing so far. Last year when I made my pressed cookies, I was using just regular, I was using the gel food colors. You doing okay?
Yeah. I think that's probably good.
Yeah, it's pretty. Just make sure it's mixed in evenly. Okay, so here's our plain, clean, not at all greasy or slick. And we want to do white first, so actually need another spatula, and you're going to have to wash your hands again because it's touching your face. I know, it's so hard. If you're going to touch your face, which sometimes you have an itch or something, try to use the back of your hand. Kind of go like this, okay? All right, so I didn't need to take that out. Oh, yes, I did. Okay, so just they all work differently. Okay. So then you just plop, load this in. And it's sticky. You know, your instinct would be that is not going to work. That dough is too sticky, but it's right, I promise. Now watch it now work. It's going to work, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Can't eat it. That's like a whole cookie right there. My oven is on 400, and I have my the racks in my oven spaced out, so 2 trays will fit in. Okay, that's actually a good one. I'm going to hang on to that. And just scoop this in here. Okay, and set that back on. Scroll down, Kate, in the instructions and see how long it has to bake. Keep scrolling. 6 to 8 minutes each. Okay, so I don't know if you can zoom in and see this, but you can tell the dough is not fully right up against the disc, so I just press the lever a few times, and you can see on the side it's coming down. There we go. All right, so now you just set it on there, and then you click it and release. And then you lift it straight up and set it down right beside. Click and release. Uh-oh, he doesn't have a head. Okay, do it again. Well, you got to do it all the way. Pull it all the way up and release. There you go. Let's see how much is left. So let's do like 3 more, and then we'll load in the red. They don't spread out very much when they're baking. Yeah, that's good. So we got it almost to the end. So now I release the plunger again, pull it back out, take this off. There'll be some dough on the back of there, so just scrape that off. Go put that one, whoops, put that one in the sink, okay? And then we're going to load in the red or pink. Pink's okay, right? This is my kid who doesn't like pink.
The other kid doesn't like pink either.
The other kid doesn't like pink either. I like pink. This makes me think of raspberries. So the other kid got, for his birthday cake, he wanted a lemon cake with raspberry buttercream. I'm like, that sounds really good. That's awesome. So, of course, to make a natural raspberry buttercream, I bought those dehydrated raspberries. You put that in the sink for me. And ground them up, and I sifted out the seeds, and I mixed that into my buttercream icing that I made. And it was delicious. But here we have this very boy cake. What was this cake? Star Wars? What was the cake this year? I think it was Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
But this very masculine cake with gray, yeah, because it had gray on the outside, like a silver. And then when you cut into it, it was pink. So it had gray fondant on the outside, and then you sliced it, it had pink underneath. It was very funny. It was pretty funny. Let me get the first one, make sure it's going to work. There we go. All right, so be one skinny one. Can you do it all by yourself? I'll kind of hold it still. All the way up. Good. Now they're trying to get a little bit of white on them. Let's see how much is left. We're down to mostly white. Go ahead and... Okay, I think that's good. Let's put the green in now.
Can we do the wreath first?
Sure. You could easily double this recipe, but we just make so many different types of cookies at Christmas that we're fine to make just a small batch, right?
They're never eaten all the way at the Christmas house because everybody has like some of everything.
At the Christmas house, we get together with extended family.
Yes.
Sometime over Christmas, and then people bring lots of goodies, and usually we eat these before we go. We usually don't have these to take. I tend to make them early.
Put it in the sink.
Yeah, put it in the sink. Dad likes to eat pressed cookies and fudge together, so whenever we make pressed cookies, fudge has to be close behind, right? So you just got to pay attention if you want both green shapes, the trees and the reeds, that about halfway through you switch out your disc. Okay, wreaths first. Just press that on. See, it has to go. Stop. It has to go all the way. Oh, you have it on backwards. No, that's right. There we go. See how there's no space? Mm-hmm. Okay, and twist it on, and again. There we go. Oh, that one was only halfway. So I'll just scrape this off, and when I open it up oh, look at that. To put on the next one. It's mad at me. I'll just add this dough back in. No problem.
That's funny.
Let's see if this one's ready now. Not yet. Not yet. Where is my dough? Come on. There we go. My goodness. He was tricky. I think this one likes you better than me. Okay. You get some wreaths, and then we'll switch out and do some trees.
There's red.
No, you don't have space. Okay, let's look and see how much is left. You want to do a couple more wreaths, or you want to switch it to trees?
One more wreath.
Okay. Dad really likes the trees. You know, he calls these Christmas tree cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you're going to switch it in the middle like that, just release the pressure a little bit, or when you go to take it off, a whole bunch will come shooting out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my hand was wet. It's hard to get that off. Okay, so...
Yay, there's Christmas tree.
Okay, hold on. So we got to get all this stuffed back down in there. So just press it down in. Wipe that off. You're not touching your face, are you?
Mm-mm.
Okay. You can set that on the side and then you can eat it when we're all done. Okay, let me get it going. There we go. Perfect. I'm going to go this way, just to spread out over the whole tray. Oh, neat.
I'm gonna call these the rainbow trees.
They're pretty. Oh, is that the end? And there'll always be a little bit left at the end that that doesn't press out, and you can just use your let me use the little one. Use your little spatula and make your little cookie on there. So it goes all the way to the end. It sort of looks like a tree, doesn't it? And then I just smushed it on there.
Can I make
Okay.
little spikes?
So we have a tray of snowman candy canes and reeds. Those will burn. I didn't know that's what you meant. The edges will burn. And then we have trees and reeds, and these just bake for 6 to 8 minutes. So we'll show you the finished product when they come out of the oven. Okay, so the cookies are all done, just like that. Just a few minutes to mix them up, and then the recipe says to bake for 6 to 8 minutes, and mine took exactly 7. And then we have these perfect little press cookies. And my concern was always, oh, they're not going to come off the tray, and they just slide right off. So, and they haven't been sitting here very long, just a couple minutes. And they're super cute. They've kept their shape and their color, and they're so fun to eat. These little reeds remind me of those little butter cookies that we had in elementary school, and people would put them on their fingers and eat them like that. So cute. So just scoop them off onto your cooling rack. These are great for a party because, one, they look so cute on a serving platter, but two, they're small, so people can feel like they can have one of lots of different things. They have little tiny treats. Oh, I sure wish I had a taste tester somewhere around. Oh, eat the headless snowman.
Poor snowman.
Poor snowman with no head. Really, the hardest part about making these cookies is figuring out how to work your cookie press. So as long as you figure that out, mine is from Williams-Sonoma. It's many years old. I had it before I even met your dad, so it's 20 years old at least. And it's still in great shape. It's a really good quality one, and I'm sure it wasn't expensive because I was a very poor graduate student. So I didn't have money for expensive kitchen things. Anyway, so that's it. Press cookies or Spritz cookies. Again, flavor them any way you like, color them any way you like. And that looks like a frog, doesn't it? That's our weird little blob shape at the end. But look how cute these Christmas trees are that have the remnants of the green and the red and the white. They're just super cute. I love them. And these reeds, oops, sorry, honey. Whoa, they're flying off. Looks like they have little berries on them. Super cute. So those are our Paleo Spritz cookies. Super simple. I did use butter, so mine are technically primal, but the recipe does work with palm shortening if you cannot tolerate any dairy. And then we don't have any space on our cooling rack, so these guys will just have to wait their turn. Did you taste one?
Can I have Mr. Frog?
Can you gonna let your brother have one?
No.
So we'll just let these other guys cool on the stone. It'll cool faster than if we left it on the tray. I don't know, should I have one?
Yes.
It's so hard for me to have one though.
Have that small little.
I'll have this teeny little. I'll eat it like this.
I really love it.
Good job. Thank you, Helper.
Mm-hmm.
Say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. We'll see you with another recipe soon. Bye.